Uh-oh, there's no gavel. Good evening. How are you? Oh, Dan Fowler? Yeah, where'd you see him at? Church? Yeah. We had a good time. Kick off the meeting here. Atlanta, though. Oh, he turned me back on. He's back there. Okay, broadcast on, podium on. All right, we'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Here.
Councilmember Clark.
Here.
Councilmember Stokes.
Here.
Councilmember Todd.
Here.
Councilmember Saper.
Here.
Councilmember Schneider. Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Here.
We'll try Linda here. Could you turn your mic off real quick? Let me see if that's... No. You got a little extra buzz there. I'm not sure who's buzzing. I don't think it's my laptop. All right. Okay. Okay. They're gonna do... Well, that didn't make it any better. I mean, we can conduct. He cannot, okay. Okay, well. Oh. What happens if you shift? No. I mean, it's gonna be what it is. Are we missing? Okay, Kim's back. Okay, we're good. We will run with this. All right, so that is the roll call. Next up, Pledge of Allegiance this evening will be led by, there they are, 1354. All right, thank you. Thank you, Troop 1354. With that, next item is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. With that is item number 6, discussion item, and unless you have an update, Cam. Or did I skip one? Comments from the public. How about that? Number 5, comments from the public. Anyone from the public wish to speak this evening, please step up. Sorry.
No worries. Hello, Council. Good evening. My name is Lisa Daginger. I'm a resident, 2414 Erie Street, and I'm also the board president of the Northland Assistance Center. Our director, Rita Pierce, has tickets to a Christmas Carol tonight, Lucky Duck, so she couldn't be here to do what I'm going to do, which is to thank you for approving the $30,000 for Northland Assistance Center. Cold weather transportation, or cold weather temporary housing. I also wanted to thank Council members Todd and Alvarez for your empathy that you showed during the meeting facing community members today. One thing that needs to be cleared up is that Northland Assistance Center cannot apply for Harris grants for anything other than residents of North Kansas City. And Rita does apply for that, and she uses it for utilities and rent. But we are unable to justify requesting funding for individuals and families who are unable to prove residency. The hospital, one of the city's largest businesses, Support Local, has also begun approaching Northland Assistance Center infrequently to help provide temporary housing when someone is lacking immediate transportation, usually to rural locations outside the metro area. Obviously, I was disappointed to learn that the city feels unable to allow Northland Assistance Center to use the funds given to us for all categories of temporary housing need that Northland Assistance Center has been approached to handle. It was heartening that you plan to have further discussion on this item. Rita and I would really appreciate an invitation to be included in that. Again, thank you for your donation, and happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. George Schluter, 800 East 23rd Avenue. I want to second what the previous speaker spoke. I've been fortunate to be involved with that organization for 15, 20 years, and they really do a lot of good. But what I'd like to discuss with you all or bring to your attention is that I don't know what item 11 is. I have my suspicions, but I believe it's time that the city told the citizens of North Kansas City what actions you're doing behind closed doors that brought this forward. I think we need to know that. Thank you.
Thank you. Further public comments? Seeing none, then we'll move on to item number 6, Public Transportation Services RFP Committee Update. And Kim, did you have, sorry, now I'm going to try what I tried last item. Did you have anything else to add to that, or?
No, other than the committee continues to meet, and we hope to have an update or something on the agenda soon.
Beautiful. Thank you. With that, next item is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item number 11, approving access and environmental agreement with Geotechnology LLC, Bill number 7811, ordinance number 9608. Is there any staff report on this item? Or no? Is there a council question? We can go right to council then.
Before you this evening is a request for obtaining additional information for development throughout this area. And it needs, in order for them to get all the information they need, both environmental as well as geotechnical information, they need to be get on Caboose Park over here. Originally, they had talked with Chief Hargis, I believe, and I think they thought they needed to be on that property as well, but they've since learned that that was not necessary. This is not unusual when you're considering development of properties to request. All the liability goes on them. It's similar to us granting. In fact, there is it's for a very short time, a license to be on, like you've granted, a number of times for different reasons. Sometimes maybe some of you may feel that some of the reasons are better than others, and some you have more questions about. But they approached this firm approached the city about this. We've done some significant background checking to see what was there. We did determine that there was previously an underground storage tank, but that was further to the south, actually and it's been removed, properly so. That was on property that's now part of our Fire Station 1. But it did require us to do some investigating, and we got appreciate the help of the Community Development Department as well as the Public Works Department that helped dig out some old records to determine what, if anything, had been in this area.
There.
Some of it was interesting that we learned.
Yep.
I didn't know this. There was a water slide, I guess, on where the fire department was at one stage. And I'm old, but that predates me.
No comment. No, okay, no. Thank you. Is there further council questions on the item? Councilmember Smith?
I think this will probably be an easy one. B13, it looks like it's right there on the spot, the fire department. Is that being moved? Is that what that arrow and the red dot means on the picture? I'm looking at the rendering here. So it's being slid over to the parking lot rather than,
Yes, that's what that meant, Councilman.
okay.
That's what that meant, Councilman.
Okay.
Smith, they had moved it across the street on other property. So we were trying to get them to not have to be on fire department property at all, because it's been developed, and as you know, there's a lot of concrete there.
Okay. And then to George, during comments, you mentioned number 11, so I'll go ahead and say this is the first I've seen any of this. It has nothing to do with a backroom discussion. So anyone who is looking to develop real estate would probably do this as part of their due diligence. So we can only speculate, and there is no background information for it. I wish I had more juicy details for you.
Yeah, I would agree that from what I know, this is obviously related to some development. What that development is exactly at this point is undetermined. So trying to figure out what's in the land in there to determine what else they can do. Further council comment.
So I guess we're saying we don't know who geotechnology is working for. Is that true?
I didn't hear. You guess what?
I guess
Who is
that
paying
we
geotechnology,
don't know who
I guess.
geotechnology is working for. The firm that wants to do the testing.
To be perfectly candid with you, I do not know the answer to that question.
Okay.
Although I believe it is, I will say, related to the surrounding property owner. There you go. Although I don't have that. And I don't think that was on the 811 permit either. Councilman.
It's a question over here to help me understand how this process works, but when Geotechnology LLC applies to do this survey work, do they have to submit any type of like plan or something that goes with what they're looking at, or do all we know is they just want to do some kind of test work on this site? Do we know that like the purpose of what they're looking for here? Like if there's a bigger project?
The one thing that, because the draft that they sent, I significantly modified and changed of this access agreement. And they were fine with all of my changes if they could add one sentence, and that's the very, very last sentence of the document itself, before the signature lines, on page 6. They asked to add, the owner, that's the city, shall disclose to the contractor, that's them, prior to the work, any known or suspected contamination existing on the property. And so, you know, that's fair and reasonable, anything known to us, and that's why I've met with other departments to acquire that information. I don't personally have it, but they were very cooperative. I got a very thin stack, but I did get a stack. That's how I found out that there used to be because what this says, it's between 18th Avenue, it's generally described between 18th Avenue and Narmer, and on the east side of Howell, okay? That's why it included the fire station, but that's not included now. And that's how we found out about, there used to be an underground storage tank there. I didn't know it, but I do know that it's been removed properly.
Yeah, and to say it does involve surrounding property owners, because they did put in requests that are online that basically grid this entire region, I'd say. So they are involved somewhere, one would assume. Further questions? Did you have another? Sorry, I was kind of pointing at you. There we go. Okay, with that, is there a motion for a first reading?
First reading.
Second.
There we go. All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance adopting and approving an access and environmental diligence agreement by and between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri and Geotechnology LLC to examine, inspect, and perform certain environmental and geotechnical tests on real property on the east side of Howell between 18th Avenue and Armour Road in the City of North Kansas City, Missouri.
I move that bill number 7811 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9608.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald. An ordinance adopting and approving an access and environmental diligence agreement by and between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri and Geotechnology LLC to examine, inspect, and perform certain environmental and geotechnical tests on real property on the east side of Howell between 18th Avenue and Armour Road in the City of North Kansas City, Missouri.
Item number 12, approval of changes to North Kansas City's Policemen's and Firemen's Retirement Board, Bill number 7813, ordinance number 9610. Chiefs,
I got it.
got it. There you go.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is just simple language change to existing ordinance that will allow us to have more flexibility in our department physicals as required by the pension fund. Currently, it requires that every member get a physical every year. We're asking for a change to have the physicals done at least every 3 years. It'll allow us to look into a more comprehensive physical without adding additional costs to the city. So that's the simple. I'm happy to answer any questions if there's anything I can add in.
Any questions? Seeing none, is there a motion for first reading?
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance amending Article 2 of Chapter 2 of the Code of the City of North Kansas City, Missouri, being the Policemen's and Firemen's Retirement Fund by amending Section 2.64.150 of said article.
Call the roll. Or no.
I move
There
that
we
bill
go.
number 7813 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9610.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Alvarez. Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes. Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
An ordinance amending Article 2 of Chapter 2 of the Code of the City of North Kansas City, Missouri, being the Policemen's and Firemen's Retirement Fund by amending Section 2.64.150 of said article.
Item number 13, approving accounts due and payable by the city through November 17, 2023. Bill number 7812, ordinance number 9609.
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through November 17, 2023.
I move that bill number 7812 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9609.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald. An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through November 17, 2023.
Item number 14, staff comments.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. We've got the reports in there. I wanted to point out that a grant tracker has been added. Thank you for that, Mayor. We got it all together. And
Thank you, yes.
It's not complete, but it's something that department heads have started filling out. Wanted to show you what it looked like.
Yeah, something I definitely viewed, I'll just add to that, it's a supplement to the strategic plan as well.
Right.
That's one of our priorities, so thank you.
Only comments tonight are from Victoria. I would like to say, if I may, on behalf of the staff, department heads, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving as well. I just wanted to remind everybody, Mayor's Tree Lighting is a week from Friday, so 6 o'clock on the corner of Armour and Swift, right across the street from CVS. Going to be lots of really fun activities there. Thanks.
Sounds fun. We'll be there. Council comments. Councilmember Alvarez.
I really don't have anything.
Thank you. Councilmember Clark.
Hello. The EIC, just wanted to point out as liaison, the EIC is actively taking applications for Ward 1. I think we have one pending, and then 2 for Ward 4. Thanks for everybody that spoke. Also attended a really good event at Michi Amaro last night. They put on a show for service industry people. It's a free show. It's a comedy show for individuals. It was a pretty good time. And I'm happy to see Rhino gaining some resurgence. Happy to see that for our small businesses. And wanted to point out the EIC is also sponsoring the multicultural event, but I'm trying to think of the dates.
The 5th or the 19th?
The 5th or the 19th. Everybody come out. No. And that's it for me.
It is. Thank you, Councilmember Stokes.
Parks and Rec did a great job at the fair this weekend, the Mistletoe Marketplace. It was really fun. Lots of great vendors. They're amazing. Happy Thanksgiving.
Fantastic. Thank you, Councilmember Todd.
Yeah, I want to second that. That was a lot of fun. Loved it. Got some gifts. Definitely going to go every year. And then thank you for the people who shared comments. I do just want to say I would be in favor of bringing some sort of discussion item or something to the table at some point regarding Northland Assistance Center and other avenues or ways to support them. So, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Councilmember Saper.
I do really understand people's unease about something like geotechnology doing these borings or studies and not knowing who they are working for. I didn't know that it was the usual practice, that someone would come in and do these without us knowing who they're working for. In the environment that we're in, we're all waiting to see what the Royals and the Merrimans are going to do with their land, but we don't know. We really don't know. And we're not hiding anything. It's just a matter of unease that we all feel while we're waiting. But I certainly understand people's concerns and questions about that, because I have them too.
Thank you. Councilmember, not here. Councilmember Smith.
Echo that. I feel the unease as well. We don't know, and I don't even think the Merrimans know at this point. We're just waiting, and we are not, as some have suggested, out advocating and begging for anything. We're just waiting to hear. Mistletoe Market was awesome. It was misty and rainy and gross, but the inside was warm and cheerful. Nice music, beautiful setting. The girls made some awesome ornaments. The tree lighting, it looks like, I just peeked at the forecast, it looks like the weather should be, hopefully, far superior to last year's negative whatever nonsense we had. Yeah, it's looking to be somewhere in the high 30s, and rain is not projected on either end, so fingers crossed that that sticks around. One question that I've asked a time or two before, and this is one for Tom, not to be answered tonight, but we're about to read a whole bunch of words to send us to some executive sessions. There's got to be a tidier way to do this. There has to be a tidier way than reading 4 sets of the same words each time, especially if we're going to use executive sessions as we have. I would really appreciate if we could dig a little deeper into that.
I would tell you his position has not changed, despite my attempts.
I understand. I know your position hasn't changed, but
I would like to give you another answer, but there's not another proper legal answer. And a number of years ago, there was an audit by the state auditor of the finances of this city, and one of the things they do is also audit how you hold an executive session and how you call for one, and whether or not you keep records of what that's about. And they said they wished everybody did them like we did.
Ugh.
Okay, so I'm trying to avoid a problem.
So others do it differently.
I understand others do it differently, and that doesn't mean they're doing it right.
But it also doesn't necessarily mean they're, I understand your position. However, I would very much appreciate every single time not to have to do it like we are tonight. Something to dig into.
We'll try to
That's
make
all.
it fast when I get to it here. in a
There you,
second.
oh, yeah, I mean, we can read it like the people at the end of the prescription drug commercials or car, like, it doesn't matter.
I might just start, yeah.
Nobody's listening to it, and we're all voting on it no matter what,
I
so,
might just have a robot read them off from now on anyways, say it even faster.
that's all from me.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
I'll thank you to everyone that came out and spoke tonight, and I'll also echo some concerns over this geotech work. I think it's not, I don't know what this project is. I can speculate. I've seen the same things in the news that everyone else has, especially if this is starting to look at city property for these boring sites. Some more communication would be appreciated from the outside parties involved.
Perfect. Thank you. A lot said there. We'll get Northland Assistance Center on a upcoming agenda here. I believe the Multicultural Festival at the high school, according to my calendar. Oh, it also says TBD in it. Never mind. Let me hold on saying that out loud then. I just now saw that in the title.
Was it one of the dates I said?
December 12th is what my. So I don't know.
Hey, it's the Multicultural Festival. It will be someday in December at the high school.
I mean, maybe I'll shout it out at the end here if Anissa can reply by the time I'm done reading all these executive session things. When is? She just got the invite this afternoon, so I know she knows when. Okay, we'll see what she says there. With that, thank you, Troop 1354, for leading us in the pledge this evening, and thank you for sticking around. We had quite a short meeting here, so sorry there wasn't a little bit more action for you all to take in, but I appreciate you all coming out and leading off the meeting, so thank you. With that, I'll move on to item number 17. Consideration or request to hold in recess into an executive session as requested by the mayor to be held on this day on a personnel matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0213.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Nope.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Number 18, consideration of request to hold in recess in an executive session is requested by the city administrator to be held on this date on a legal matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0211.
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yep.
Councilmember Stokes.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Schneider. Nope. Councilmember Smith.
Can't see.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Jesse.
They're good. 19, consideration of a request to hold in recess in executive session is requested by the mayor to be held on the state on a real estate matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0211.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes. Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
I do remember what that's for. Number 20, consideration or request and hold in recess. Let me try that again. Consideration or request to hold in recess in an executive session is requested by the city administrator to be held on this date on a contractual matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0211-12.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
With that, the live stream will cut off. There'll be no further business or votes taken this evening. Thank you. Except adjournment, which I should just include in my